Up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Climb Together podcast. This is episode number 24. Let's go. We're almost a quarter of our way to 100. Right?
Almost.
Almost.
We're getting there.
So I am your host, Toner Scorp, here with my co-host, Deception the Rapper. Deception, say hi.
What's up?
If you guys are watching this podcast live, feel free to ask questions and stuff like that. And if you guys aren't watching this podcast live, or you're listening to it there after the fact, come join us live. We go live every Wednesday at 12 p.m. EST over on twitch.tv /toners_scorp and /deception the rapper. Come chill with us. Come hang out. Come join the conversation. This is why we do this. We can have some open conversation type dealios.
Yeah, we like conversation joiners.
Oh, yeah. So we have a lot to talk about today, but first I would like to apologize because we have a lost episode. I am finally at the point where I'm catching up on uploading all these episodes to other platforms, and I have realized we don't have an episode 18, or I just lost the episode. So, if we did
it could be where we were arguing over if it was 18 or 19.
I think.
Or it could just be maybe you lost it. Because I feel like for sure we did an 18.
I feel like we did an 18, but I feel like we just lost it. So it was a Twitch exclusive. So it probably won't be the last time that happens. As long as I keep my crap together. I'm getting my stuff back together. You know, I have all of the audio files and all of the video files edited. Now I just have to upload them, listen to them, do the descriptions and stuff like that, and get them out there. But I do have one coming out tonight. Well, this afternoon. 3 hours from now. So, yeah.
See, I don't really know what I'm doing, and when it comes to editing the videos and uploading the podcast to platforms and stuff, that's Tone's thing. So, there might be a couple lost episodes, so that's just an extra incentive to go to Twitch and watch it live because you might not get to see it again.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only lost episode we have, because I have the rest of them. But we don't have an episode 18.
I hope there wasn't a lot of significant things that happened in that episode.
It was... Episode 19 was when we did with Jasmine.
I don't think we had a guest for 18, so I think we're good.
Yeah, so probably was just...
I just hope nothing. I just hope we didn't talk about anything super significant.
I think we're good.
We have significant things to talk about today, though.
Yeah, we do. So first off, I wanna start out with a bang, and because I actually have some information to talk about that I am knowledgeable about. Kinda, I watched some videos. Watched some videos last night to kind of on YouTube to kind of get myself back in the swing of things. So, Valorant is actually going to be moving to franchise league for the year 2023.
Oh, so are we gonna have Optic Texas Valorant?
I hope so. But the thing is so it's a lot more complicated than what I'm making it out. It's pretty complicated in writing, but I feel like it's gonna be interesting to see because I mean, right now the CDL's not doing so good with franchising. The OWL's not doing so great with franchising.
Well, it's not really the franchise's fault that the CDL's not working. It's the CDL's fault.
Well, I feel yeah, probably. I mean, you're right, but
what I'm saying is if Valorant goes to franchising and it's literally the same thing that we've seen for the past couple of years, but just franchise team names, then we're good.
Well, the thing is are you typing?
No.
Oh. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, I'm gonna pull up their post because they went into depth about it, so I feel like we should too. But so they announced this the other day, and pretty much it could either go really, really well and be really good because it's okay. Yeah, here it is. So they're gonna have global events, right? LAN events, which is great because we want to see LAN events now that things are getting better with COVID. And the pandemic and everything, so LAN events great. They're gonna have ones that raise the bar, and since it's Riot, that they're gonna be awesome events because League of Legends events are just next level. right? And they already have that
Yeah,
kind of
I mean the Valorant events are it's just super easy to predict that they're going to be great events.
like Riot puts on great events as it is. Like just every single game that they like League of Legends, Valorant, like their games are next level when it comes to events. So I'm really excited to
Yeah.
see that personally. So they're gonna have premier level international leagues. So there's three new leagues where the best teams from around the world compete in studio to be crowned champions of their league and also qualify for global events. So the leagues will be based like pretty sure it's like regional, like I think it's like regions of the world,
Yeah.
like different countries and stuff like that. I feel like there'll be like a North Atlantic, NA,
It'll probably be like NAEU,
yeah,
Asia Pacific.
yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And they're gonna expand it domestic and game changers league. So the expansion of the current challengers and game changers systems to cover more players in more countries and more regions. They're gonna expand the amount of you know competition. Like
Which is fantastic.
so you can play with people. Say you are in like a very small, you're like in a smaller part of the world, a smaller country. You will be able to play in leagues there and not have to play in like a league in another part of the world. You know what I mean? And they're gonna introduce a new connection to in-game competitive experience. So they're gonna add a new mode. So it's not like quick play or ranked play or any of the like LTM's, right? It's gonna be a competitive mode where you play like to be seen. It's like a recruiting um like league in within
Oh,
the
so it's
game.
kind of like the when the CDL tried the scouting series, but it's actually going to work this time.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a whole different game mode within, and you can like play through the ranks, and it's gonna be hopefully really good for those that want to make it to the next level. Just because they're going into these franchise leagues, so it's gonna be a pretty closed off thing, right? Um,
It
but
definitely sounds like a really good idea. Like it sounds good. It's just I hope they can execute. And I
yeah,
mean, it's Riot, so I'm confident that they can execute. But
yeah,
we'll have to see.
um,
It's just it's kind of like an only time will tell scenario.
yeah. But I mean, it's so it's called the game mode. I think is called Path to Pro. I think it says Path to Pro accessible to every player right inside Valorant. I think that's kind of like what they're calling it. Um but yeah, they have I haven't read too much into it, but that's pretty much like the over encompassing what they're going to do with Valorant.
Definitely seems like a good idea.
Cuz what they're trying to do, they even said this in their the 2023 Valorant champion uh they want to propel Valorant to become the number one competitive FPS in the world. So they'd have to pass CSGO because I'm pretty sure CSGO is the number one FPS competitive in
Yeah.
the world right now. And it has been for a really, really long time. They don't have franchise leagues and it's been doing them good, you know what I mean? So it'll be one of those things that we're gonna have to wait a few years to see because esports is still a new thing. So it's a lot of experimentation and just kind of waiting it out as far as that stuff kind of goes. So
Yeah. But I mean, Valorant has a lot of hype behind it, so I'm
yeah,
sure that they know that they have to execute in everything they do. So
and they do a
I
good job at executing too. It's not like they half-ass everything. Like they have a really. I personally, I don't play the game anymore because my rage issues are really bad. But when I did play, like
Oh
the
man.
game was done really well. Ranked was really good. Obviously people have like Smurf accounts and stuff like that, but I think they're gonna do a good job with it personally. They're a really
I
great
hope so.
right, it's just a really great development company as it.
I hope so. I love seeing esports succeed no matter which one it is.
Esports, it's like one of those things, it's like we all have our favorite esports that we like to watch, but like when one esport succeeds, esports as a whole succeeds, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's how it is. And what's up, Mark?
Well, and it's like,
'Cause it's
I
World
mean,
One.
if Valorant's franchising gets super hyped and then it's good, and COD improves their franchising and the way they do their stuff, then it could be like outlets that don't really report on esports could be like, yeah, Valorant's franchising system's going well, and Call of Duty also has a franchising system and it's going well too.
Yeah, like it's one of those things. It brings it to the people, and I think that's what I like a lot. Because especially with like the way that like Minnesota is, like they had like billboards up in the city for the event. You know?
Yeah, Minnesota really like the Rocker and like version 1 just they do a fantastic job of like marketing their team and putting and making it like a mainstream thing. They're really good at that.
Oh yeah, they are. It's just I don't know. It's one thing. It's very exciting to see because if they can pull it off, and do it kind of like in a different way, then hopefully teams, not teams, but like other leagues like Call of Duty League can like take some notes and, um, you know, because I think one thing that's gonna be really important, and I think Valorant can pull it off is having enough teams to make it competitive, to make it so that there can be an upset. Because what the really great thing about like having non-franchise things where anyone can compete is having big teams like FaZe go up against freaking uwu girls, uwu discord girls, and then
What now?
sorry. I'm using the reference that they gave me in the video because I can't think of anything else. Because I was gonna say there's something else, but then I realized I am on stream, and I didn't think that would be a great idea. Um, but like, you know, teams that don't even have like an org-based name, or like their org is very small. Like they have like we were talking about last week, like tier like BC orgs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not tier S or tier A, but tier like B, C, and below. Like they have opportunities to go as far as the finals. But once the franchising comes in, they won't have that opportunity anymore. So it'll
When you
be
said Uwu Discord girls, it just made me think about the old E-Girl Slayers team from COD. That's
yeah.
what it made me think about.
So, it kind of takes away that element, but if they do it right and they have enough teams, you could still have the super big comeback, cuz like one thing that, why do I say so much? Cuz you don't know cuz I haven't told you yet. I just went into a southern accent. I just handled my inner deception. Um
Okay.
anyway.
You don't know because I haven't told you yet. That's what you said.
Yeah. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm good. Anyway, um Call of Duty said that they were going to expand their teams because I feel like that's something they really need to do, and I feel like they know that to raise the competitive bar, but they haven't. They haven't, raised the team. It's been 12 teams. And before this season, we
I
weren't
just
sure
don't
if we
think
were going
they've
to have
gotten
a
enough
12th.
attention in markets to get new teams.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that they're not trying. It's just I don't think there's enough attention on the COD League, partly because they're not doing so great.
And
Um,
it's a super big buy-in. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And they're not
you're
doing so
paying
great.
you're paying 25-30 million dollars for what?
Yeah, for literally for what? It's like it's one of those things. It's
Yeah.
is it worth it? And I feel like Nate Shot's touched on this, like himself. He's like, I'm not sure if this was a good investment or not because his team's doing really not that great. And even if his team was
Well,
not
his
doing,
team's not doing great. I mean, the game in itself in Vanguard is not doing great in terms of sales and viewership. And
just
that hurts the
overall,
COD League. Um, and having a team that's not Optic Texas hurts your viewership really bad. uh, because like I saw in the at one point in the losers finals when it was Florida versus LAG, there was like 4,000 people watching. I was like, what is happening right now?
it's just I don't know. Like the 100 Thieves is a good brand. Like they have good following and they have a lot of fans, but the
I
COD
would say they're
world,
probably the third best team fan base wise
yeah,
behind FaZe and Optic.
yeah,
FaZe and Optic are obviously the best, but
yeah. And I
now that
feel like
Nate Shot's back, a lot of people have came back to the Thieves and they're like, yeah, let's support these guys.
Yeah, and like the thing is, but they're not showing up, and it's just, you know what I mean. So
Yeah, I see a lot of Thieves fans on Twitter, but when you look at the crowds in the LAN, it's like scarce to find a Thieves fan.
yeah, which is sad. I mean, you know, Hundred Thieves is a good brand. It's a good org, but you know they're just not delivering the way that they could. And I feel like they're hurting them a little bit, by a little bit. I mean, a lot.
What if it's the nade shot curse?
The nade shot curse.
What if it's just like his teams are destined to be good, but they're not destined to be great? Because he was good, but he was never great.
Burn.
I'm just saying, it seems like they won a couple events in BO4, but like they threw in like basically a pickup team in BO3 and didn't win a single series when they played the one season of the Pro League.
Mm-hmm.
And like they didn't win an event in Cold War. They looked okay most of the time,
They were
but
just
they've
doing so
looked
many
very
roster
bad
changes
in
too.
Vanguard so far.
I don't know. It's just one of those things. Have a lot of work that.
God, when I mentioned that pickup team in BO3, I remember Aches was on that team. And I remember they wore like it looked like old school like jail jerseys. They were like striped, and they weren't even like they were like gray and black. And I was like, oh,
Gross.
I hated the look of those jerseys. Yeah, it was weird. It literally looked like they showed up from the county jail to play in a COD LAN. But I mean, they've come a long way since then. I mean, that's when that right there was like when 100 Thieves was just becoming a thing. Like they weren't even really an apparel company at that point. He was trying to build a competitive team. And then he just realized, wait, maybe we should do something else first. But that was forever ago. Um, but one of the if we want to stay on the COD train, um, the biggest probably the biggest bombshell of the last few months, Modern Warfare 2 got announced.
Ooh. Yeah, let's go, new card.
That I mean, all they did was post like a 16-second little video of like the logo cinematic, and it's already one of the most liked COD announcement tweets of all time.
I think this is my personal opinion, and you can either like it or don't. I don't care. So, I think since Call of Duty in the past like 2 months has gotten better at like listening to the community. Not they're still not great. I mean, if you look at the latest patch notes, they did not listen and they did the opposite. But that's not the point. But they've been getting a little better about listening and trying to make the game better for the player experience. So I think people are hyped to see, you know, the improvement in a new game.
Well, and it comes with like if you're somebody who really follows COD and like looks at the leaks and hears the rumors and stuff like that. There had been rumors floating around based on an Activision job listing about a COD 2.0 type thing that's going to happen.
COD 2.0.
Yeah, it was like they were looking for some sort of influencer relations manager, which
Mm-hmm.
was basically like somebody who was a good line of communication between the devs and influencers. And they mentioned something called COD 2.0, which is basically like a new era of COD. And then that job listing got taken down like pretty fast, like within a couple days. But then when they dropped the Modern Warfare 2 logo cinematic, it said the new era of Call of Duty is coming. So we'll see. I mean, things could completely change come Modern Warfare 2, but and I feel like they've never said that before. I feel like they've at least not said it since like COD 4 that a new era of Call of Duty was coming.
That's good.
So it sounds like significant changes are on the way.
Which is which is heavily needed in my opinion. And I think the
It
opinion at
sounds
most.
promising. We'll have to wait. I mean, the rumors the reveal's May 30th, and we could be playing the alpha by June, but
Ooh, alpha by June?
yeah.
Pretty soon.
Well, because the game's already in alpha. The game's been in alpha since like January.
Oh.
Um, so I would assume that a playable version of the alpha could be done right now if they really wanted to ship it out. But that's what I've heard. I've heard reveal May 30th. Um, could be playing the alpha in June. Um, and the game's probably going to release in October. Because now, like, another thing that's hinting toward that is that there's no season 5 in the Vanguard game, or season 6 in the Vanguard game files. So I mean, everybody thought when these Modern Warfare 2 rumors started coming out that Vanguard would go and like not have a season 6, and it looks like that's happening. So apparently Modern Warfare 2 is going to release around the time that a season 6 would have been releasing for Vanguard, and that will probably fall in October.
Okay. Nice little October game. Like me,
It might
like
be
me.
earlier than BO4. I mean, BO4 came out on October 12th. I wouldn't be surprised if Modern Warfare 2 comes out very early October, like first week. Um,
Listen, I loved when BO4 came out. It was like perfect timing for me personally. When it came out October 12th. Because my dad passed
I
away
mean, it
on the
was
8th.
so nice for me because it was like now I don't have to wait another month to play the game. Like I remember um in Infinite Warfare, we weren't able to play the beta for that game until October 14th. And BO4, the entire game came out October 12th, and I was like, "What?"
I'm excited. I am excited to get all of this. It's either gonna
It's
it's either gonna
promising.
soar or it's gonna flop. And I think that's what makes it interesting.
It does make it interesting because, like I said, big changes are coming. I don't know if they're good. I don't know if they're bad. Uh, we'll have to see. It's an only time will tell. We'll have to, hold our breaths until the reveal or until we see gameplay or something like that. But definitely seems promising. I've heard that a lot of Modern Warfare 2 guns are coming back. I've heard that a lot of Modern
Ooh,
Warfare 2 maps are coming back.
ooh.
Um, it genuinely sounds good, but we'll have to wait and see. Um,
Dun dun dun.
but I've heard good things. There's been some rumors about Warzone 2. Um, there's been rumors about that DMZ mode that's supposed to be like Tarkov. Um, it got leaked last week that that game mode that they're doing for like the third mode of the game is supposedly been in development for 4.5 years.
4.5
So
years.
they've been sitting on it literally since like after Infinite Warfare dropped. So I mean that sounds like it's gonna be very big. Like
Oh, also, guys, sorry not to interrupt, but Toronto Ultra Major 3 tickets are on sale now. So if you guys want to go get your tickets. In Toronto, Canada. Ba, ba, ba,
yeah,
ba. It's
sounds that sounds about right considering the Toronto Ultra are hosting it.
yep. I am so hyped for the freaking NYSL one though. Ugh, ready.
Um,
Before we go to the
I was
game.
gonna lead into that too. Is like developments with teams and stuff. Like Illy is not playing because he is injured.
His
Imagine an
thumb.
esports injury happening.
I know.
Um, but yeah, he had a little spot on his thumb. And it's getting better, but he's not gonna play this weekend because he's had a lot of pain. Um, General is subbing in for him. So I mean, I would love to see them do like what LAG did and win the thing, but we'll see. At the end of the day, it's a pro-am. It's not really like super major, but obviously you still wanna go out and play as hard as you can. Hopefully, Optic can do that. Um, Also, London Royal Ravens are starting Harry over Gizmo for the
Okay.
Pro-Am. They made that roster change. Now, what's that going to do for Harry's spot on Ultra Academy EU? Nobody knows. Maybe Gizmo, maybe they just traded. Maybe Gizmo's going back down to them and playing for them, but we'll have to see what they do with that. But yeah, the Pro-Am starts tomorrow. Um, and there's gonna be there's like 24 matches tomorrow, and there's gonna be four different CDL streams. It's gonna be like the old MLG days. There's gonna be four different streams, teams playing matches on every stream. It's gonna feel nostalgic.
Um, I don't know, man. I'm just there's a lot of potential right now in esports, and I feel like this now is the time for us to take advantage of it because going back to lands and it really will prove how great esports really are to those that are like it's just video games. And I feel like it's really important. I don't know if these guys realize how important this is to you know the future of esports. They're still pioneers, really. Think about it, in the esports industry, right? You think how long have like general run of the mill sports been around? Since like the
I mean, if you want to
1800s.
go back to the first, if you want to go back to like golf, that was like hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, like this
But like
is.
baseball, football, they all were like after Civil War, like 1870s,
Hmm.
1880s,
Since the 1800s
1900s.
in the United States, and I don't even know for other countries, especially like in Europe and in Asia and stuff.
I think soccer or traditional football has been around for a long time.
Yeah. So I think, we're still in the early days of it. And so people are still kind of skeptical. Like when you like me personally, like I want to go into esports. I want to be in gaming for my career.
Yeah.
And when I tell people that, they're like, "You want to be a gamer for the rest of your life?" No, well, yeah, but like, it's there's more
No,
to.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but there's more to it. There's.
I mean, I think right now it's esports time to shine more than it was when COVID started. Because, yeah, when COVID started, esports went to all online, so it's like all the other sports were gone, so everybody started watching esports.
But now it's like continuing that.
But now it's like COVID is tapering off, and
Mhm.
we're starting to get back into lands. We're starting to have fans, and now it's their time to shine even more because now we're going back to
We've
where it was before.
we've got the attention. Right now we just got to keep it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's really important. And personally, it'll be my mission, like my personal mission, to make sure that everybody knows that esports is where it's at.
Yeah.
It's the future, really. It's for everyone. It's rated E for everyone. That's why it's esports.
Well, except for when you're listening in to the players.
Oh yeah, don't no, it's not. It's not rated E for everyone. They
Oh.
swear up and down, dude. They're like, yo,
Yeah, it's funny, but I mean, we want
not
to
rated E for
transition
everyone.
to another esport. Halo had their Kansas City major this weekend.
Ooh.
Sentinels took home the W. They defeated
Hey.
Cloud9.
Dang. Look at them go.
And Optic got top 3 in their first major with Formal, so that was pretty good.
Because it's formal. Man's an absolute goat.
I mean, I think a lot of people expected them to win, but then again, that was their first time together.
H4F.
Yeah, H4F for sure. For sure. Um, but I mean, that was a really I was watching it all weekend. I wasn't watching every match, but I would occasionally just watch the Halo stream. And it seemed like every match I would watch was just wild. Like there was one on Friday. Um, the F1 driver Lando Norris's esports team Quadrant played against G1, who is just like they were like an AM team. But that series was insane. That went 5 games, and it was like every game there was just crazy stuff happening. They were going all out for that major.
Let's go.
It was super fun to watch. The only sad thing about it is, speaking of like riding the momentum of esports, Halo is not doing a great job of that because there is not another Halo LAN for 4 months.
There's not?
No, no Halo LAN for 4 months. It's just that's just another thing that like Halo is like they got to get better at it.
Yeah. It's
They're
just
doing a fantastic job. It's just they're not filling in the gaps.
it's one of those things you got to keep people interested. If
I
you got
mean,
to be
I
like
sure
up
hope
in their
they have
face.
online tournaments, and I'm sure they will. I'm sure they'll have like those open qualifiers and stuff.
Mhm.
But I hope it's like I hope they do that like every couple weeks, and it's not like, oh well, we'll just take a break for 2 months and start having them a little bit before the next major. Um, because everybody likes watching competitive Halo, and even if the format for COD isn't the greatest, at least we have COD to watch every week. It feels
Yeah.
like we just have big hiatuses of not watching Halo, and it's like,
It's one thing though is like the one thing it's part of it's number one marketing rule. And I'm going to share this cuz it's the Climb Together podcast and I can. Um
that's facts.
People, in order for them to keep coming back, they have to keep seeing you. You know what I mean? There's so much to watch nowadays, right? If you're not in people's faces, and not like a, like not in an obnoxious way, but you post a lot and you're like very involved, people see your name, they're like, oh yeah. And then, every weekend COD, or every weekend this, every weekend that, or, you know, consistency is key with like being in, because people are like, keep you stay in the back of people's minds. You know what I mean? They'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's Friday at 3 o'clock. COD's on. Let's go." Because that's the way it is with football. You know what I mean? During football season, it's like Sunday, game time. Let's go. Get the boys together. Let's get it.
Yeah, I know that's part like I mean, granted, it's only like they've moved it one day, but that's why I wish majors were Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because that's how it always was for me when it was like back in AW and BO3. Is like if I knew a major was coming, I was like, man, I'm so excited for Friday, and I'd get up on Friday and be like, yeah, it's time, baby.
Yeah, it's like
I
one of
was
those
ready.
things. People, it's the consistency, and it's not like oh, for like this season it's these days, or this season it's these other days. It's like every season it's the same thing because that's the way it is. People love that. People love tradition and consistency.
Yep.
Consistency is what keeps people going. That's why people have routines, because it keeps a consistency. It's the backbone of human operation, you know? Like, people have been watching football on Sundays for many, 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 many years, And they expanded, right? So now you can watch like on Thursdays or Mondays or whatever, but there's still Sundays. It's football Sunday,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
it's tradition. I
Like,
mean, and it's continuity.
yes, it
Everybody
is.
knows that this is happening at this time, and they are ready for it. And
Oh, yeah.
well, I mean, with some esports, it's like that. Some it's not. Uh, I mean, Halo is definitely the worst for having large breaks between. I mean, granted, they only have a game every like 3 or 4 years, but like their fan base is so into it, and like the players like the game so much that it's like, if it's a good game, like there shouldn't be large breaks between when they want to keep playing and the fans
Yeah.
want to keep watching. Um,
True. True, true, true.
but I guess we'll have to see what happens between this past Halo land and the next one. We got 4 months, so they better make something happen. Um,
Changes need to be made. Not like big changes. It's kind of like little small
I
cosmetic
mean, even
changes,
like with COD, like we were gonna have like a month break, which is not that bad, but like we've been having COD like every week. So everybody be like, "What's happening for the next month?" No, we had like that rebirth tourney, which granted that wasn't like the greatest thing to watch, but it's something. And then we have this pro am, which is something. It's not exactly what we were looking for, but it's something. But Halo just it sounds like there's just a void of nothing for 4 months.
Yeah, and that's it. God, it's not a good way of going about it. You know, it loses people. It diverts people's interest. People get bored. They go play other games. They go watch other games. They lose the interest. They don't return.
When you could say the same thing about Halo's content too. 'Cause they really haven't had much content. No new maps since the game dropped, by the way. Game's been out for 6 months.
6 months the game's been out. No,
Nope, no new maps or nothing. I mean, granted, you can't add new guns because Halo uses the same guns all the time, but that's fine. That's how Halo is. But
like new. You got to keep people. You got to keep people in. Know, especially if you're not gonna release a game every year. You're gonna gotta keep adding new things for people to play, especially when it's like an FPS game like that. If it's like a story mode game, you know what I mean? It's like people play it once and they're done, right?
well, and that's the thing I'm kind of scared about Modern Warfare 2. Because what if it's just like we already have kind of spread out content to where it feels like there are voids in the darkness between them? And what if like if Modern Warfare 2's out for 2 years and they spread it even further?
Yeah, which it could be a possibility. I mean, not out
So
of
I
the
feel
realm.
like even if Modern Warfare 2 is a good game, that right there would be the downfall, is if they don't bring content regularly.
They have to like like the one thing that I like that Call of Duty does is like where you have like 14 days to get certain things. But I feel like they should make those things better. It shouldn't be just like calling cards and whatever. They should make like really cool like rare items that are like people like actually want.
You know what I wish they would bring back that really hasn't been a thing out like since Black Ops 4? I wish they would actually like bring new camos into the game.
New
Like
camos?
ones that
Oh
you can
yeah.
unlock or ones in the battle pass or whatever. Why is it that we have all these lame stickers that nobody's going to put on their guns, but we're not putting camos in the battle pass? Like, even if you had to pay for most of the camos and the good ones were in the premium tiers, it's like people would pay for that because it's camo. Like, nobody's gonna look at their fancy watch that they have to actually inspect and take themselves out of gunfights to look at.
Yeah.
And nobody's gonna look at their skin when you can go buy one that's not in the battle pass for way more money. Like if you want something that's gonna be on your in your line of sight whenever you're playing the game, and a camo is exactly what that is.
Yep, a
And
gun
they just
camo.
don't do that.
They used
I
to.
mean, there's been some camos lately. I mean, Vanguard put that one in for the CDL. If you watch the CDL, you got that camo. They put in some camos for people that play ranked play, but like there's been no camos in the battle pass, like no camos that you could even buy in bundles. Like even if they made like camo packs in the bundles, I'd buy one of those.
Mhm.
Like it's just like they want you to buy these blueprints that have nice stuff on them, but it's for that one gun. You can't get that for everything else. And I feel like that's part of the reason why they don't put camos in. Because in Black Ops 4, they had camos in the Battle Pass, and they had camos. Granted, they didn't have many, but they had them. Uh, I mean, but it's just like I just feel like we need to have more tangible things that we can see all the time, rather than this little sticker that we can rock, or this little like 3 word saying you can put on your kill cam theme. Like I don't know, it's weird. I just feel like COD like has lost any idea of what they're supposed to do with content.
I feel like they should go back and look at older CODs and take some of what worked. Like bring in people that have been playing COD for years. And when I mean years, I mean not since like BO2, like not since BO2, but like since like before Black Ops. Bring them in and be like, yo, What should we add? Like, what is some cosmetic? Like, what's cosmetic things that you guys really loved that we did with the
Well, and
game?
that's what I hope they do with whatever that influencer position is. Like, I hope they hire somebody really good for that, and they really interact with the influencers because
Hmm.
as many people that say influencers ruin the game or make people more sweaty or whatever you want to say that's negative about influencers, at the same time, like they have been playing the game so long that they probably know better about the game than the actual devs do.
Yeah, and they play a lot of them like
Like if you
play the
just
game for a
hired a
living.
hundred influencers to make a COD, I guarantee you it'd be better than what we got now.
Hmm. I feel like, well, because you got like players that have been playing COD for years and years, and I mean you've got some really big influence that just started playing COD, but there's with like Warzone, but you've got some that have been playing Call of Duty since like 2010, like over 10 years. These people have been playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean most of the really popular influencers have been playing since like COD 4, MW2, BO1. I mean, and it's not even like you have to hire them to make the game. Like if they don't have the expertise to like actually, you know, if they don't have the ability to develop the game, then let them show the developers what needs to be done.
or be like, it's like an advisor position. They advise, be like, oh, well, yeah, but they're not going to like that. You know what I mean? And with them being an influencer, and if people know that they have that position, you know what I mean? They can recommend things in their chat and be like, yo, they should have this, or, I wish COD had this. And like, it'd be able to go straight and directly to the developers. So that change can be made for the betterment of the people.
Well, and that's the thing is like that's the thing about like when they've done this before. Like when Rambo was a consultant for Advanced Warfare, and especially on the competitive side, that's why the game was really good as a competitive game, is because he showed them a lot of things about what they should do with the guns, what they should do with the maps, like how they should balance things, how they should make the modes, and and he helped them a lot. And that's why people look back fondly on Advanced Warfare, even though it's a jetpack game, is because it was a good game.
True.
And I feel like
Facts.
they just don't have any guidance anymore, so they just kind of do whatever.
Hate to see it. You hate to see it. But I mean, I don't know. I think right now people are just. I feel like the people that are playing COD right now, um, they're only playing it because they're addicted to playing COD. You know what I mean? They're addicted to getting a win. They're addicted to the grind, and it's something I've been seeing a lot actually. Like on TikTok, like this one guy was like pointing out, like, listen, you don't have to play a game because you're addicted to it. You can play another game if you're not having fun. And I feel like more and more people are getting that mentality. Like a lot of people have switched over to Apex, which is a really, really good game. A lot of big people
Yeah,
have
and
switched
see,
over to.
like, I only play COD when I'm playing with my friends. Like, if you
Yeah.
got on and wanted to play COD, I'd play. Wyatt gets on and wants to play COD, we get a squad going, I'll play. But like, I'm not playing COD unless it's zombies. I'm not just running pubs solo or going into Warzone and playing solos. Like, I'm just not doing that just because it's not that fun. And like some days, like if I don't have like a people to play COD with, or if I just don't feel like there's another game that I want to play, I just literally won't stream because I don't want to just sit and play COD solo and just not have fun.
Speaking of playing games, The Forest post podcast for a little bit.
I think Wyatt wants to play Warzone.
Ew.
You get on and play Warzone with us.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna stream it because I suck. Maybe I'll stream it. I don't know. Let's see. I don't even know if it's updated. There's a new update, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah, then
Yeah, you
I'll
probably
do
have
it.
millions of updates. It'd probably take you a day to
Well,
update
I
that
already
game.
updated it once, like last week. Yeah. Okay.
There, I gave you a reason to play Warzone.
Um, but I don't know. I just haven't played. I'm low-key kind of suck. I haven't played, so I feel like I mean I'll play. I'm not gonna stream it though.
I mean, if you want to play, but you gotta update the game, and
All right.
that's gonna take a minute. Do you still have Modern Warfare downloaded, or do you only have Warzone?
No, I have Modern Warfare downloaded.
Oh God, because not counting the updates you probably missed before that, just the Season 3 update, if you had Modern Warfare downloaded as well as Warzone, was like 100 gigabytes.
When was the season 3 update? When did it come out? Did it come out last
Last
week?
week,
I think I did that update. Maybe.
I gotta do an update before I play anyways.
I'll
I'm
do.
gonna actually go on Blizzard right now and update it while the podcast is happening. That's what I did last week.
All right.
Oh, it already updated. Let's go.
So Deception, do you have anything else to chat about, or are we just kind of rambling? Ramboing.
Ramboing?
Ramboing.
um, I mean, not really. I mean, I think we covered everything.
Yeah. But yeah, so right now I'm working on getting all these up, getting us caught up on the podcast. So, if you guys watching this live right now, my apologies. If you guys watching this in the future, my also apologies. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the Climb Together podcast. This podcast is available wherever you get your podcast. There also is we do it live every Wednesday at 12 p.m. EST, as we have previously stated. May the 4th be with y'all. For you Star Wars fans. Yeah. See you guys next time. Peace.